Hello everyone and welcome back. Ooh. I think this is our big one. Mystery prize. The Lady of Blades. Barsaljan is determined to take Castrum Lacus Litore and would have you join him. The time has come, Alexander. This day we shall take Castrum Lacus Litore. On behalf of the Resistance, I offer you my humblest thanks. You could not have come this far without your aid. What say you, my friend? Are you prepared to rout the Garleans? You couldn't stop me if you tried. You all seem to have it under control. Well, you all seem to have it under control, but if you insist. The battle for the Castrum will no doubt be the fiercest yet. But do not forget your training. Do not forget all we have fought for. You are Gunnhildr's blades, and by the Queen's grace, shall we prevail this day. Now, let's be ready for battle, for Borgia! Reports suggest a powerful mage presently commands the Castrum, and the continual presence of Leon Halsos will no doubt prove troublesome, to say the least. Still, with you at our side, I am confident we will be victorious in the end. Time to raid the Castrum. Castrum Lacus Litore is now accessible. You may now access the critical engagement, the Battle of Castrum Lacus Litore. The critical engagement will be initiated when a sufficient number of players with access to Castrum Lacus Litore are present on the southern front. Be sure to prepare lost actions for the from the Lost Finds cache, as they may prove key to turning the tide of battle. And now, I guess, we set up and we wait. So, for you, join me in a sec when we head into Castrum Lacus Litore. Castrum Lacus Litore. Now, I'll try to go over this as best I can as we go. So, not the best at this, but we'll see. Basically, the way we start off with this is there's an upstairs and a downstairs, which I do have footage of both. So, after this main one that my group for this main run here is going to do, I'll show off the other. So, in this first stage, it relies on two groups of the sort. One group for up and one group for down. And if either fails, well, then the whole thing fails. Though generally it's not really difficult. Up is a lot more difficult than down. I feel like it could be possible for the up group to fail and still pull it off if the lower group gets the tasks done and everyone except for like maybe the tanks runs up. I'm not sure if the ladders log off. I really should have checked that. Do 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 do. The tunnel armor will breach their defenses. It's up to you to keep it in one piece until it's through. We'll split into two groups. One to lay siege from the outside, while the other scales the wall. That's the wrong voice for him. Never mind. So yes, as you can see, for the bottom, there's just a little boss. Whereas the up route has to take a big one. But lower route has a lot more smaller mechanics to deal with. Although I would personally say lower is a lot easier than upper. That's just my opinion. Our efforts will all be for naught if the tunnel armor fails now. Do whatever it takes to defend it. So mechanics for this fight are pretty straightforward. A lot of dodging, and so this first mechanic, as you can see, it's a straight line and then it's a persistent effect. Easy, dodge out the way, don't run back into it. The tunnel armor is under attack. Strike the enemy's core. That's for upstairs. Keep those Helldivers away from the tunnel armor. So for this one, basically, yeah, you just need like, I think minimum of 2, but a bunch of people on those lines to reduce the damage. Very basic stuff here. You can see there's a gap. Get to the gap. Also, yeah, don't worry about getting hurt from that because it's a like thing on your side. It's beginning to crack. Helldivers! We must guard the tunnel armor from them at all costs. So this one, as you can see, the attacking one person at a time. So it's basically one in, get hit, move out. One in, get hit, move out. One in, get hit, move out. It's basically, yeah, each person has to take one so that they're spreading the damage. It's working! It's working! Same as the mechanic from before, we have some lines with persistent effects. Just dodge out of the way and don't stand on any of the places that they are clearly lit up as attacking. More Helldivers! Coming in fast! Quickly, get rid of them! You've seen this. Need lots of people to get in and protect the thing. And as always, as it's getting low, burn the thing down. Basically, you've seen all of the mechanics for this fight. They're just like different variations of that same thing. I knew these Helldivers were a waste of time. Send reinforcements! Some proper soldiers! And as you can see, now that we've beaten the big boss, basically it is infinite waves, I'm pretty sure it's infinite, of these smaller ads till the upstairs gets done with their task. And boom, we're through. Haha! We're through the wall. But we mustn't get complacent. It's not over yet. And we'll run up this way. If I remember correctly, I've got a nice angle on this here. So what do you think that big tunneling borer is gonna do? Directly pointing at the door. Storm the Castrum. Everyone forward. Or not, because now I'm going to show you the upstairs. Alright, so let's head up the ladders. Cool ladder animation. And time to take on Brionic. Which for some reason makes me think of ice. Why is that? Never mind, not important. So this is a much more, what would you call it, mechanic heavy, generic boss fight sort of. The type of thing you'd see in like an alliance raid, the big boss fight with big mechanics that you need to pay attention to. I mean, I suppose that the downstairs part was quite mechanic heavy, but this is more the do mechanic right or take damage rather than watch out the way of the mechanic. Our efforts will be for naught if the tunnel armor fails now. Do whatever it takes to defend it. So yes, we're taking it on from upstairs now. Again, generally the mechanics aren't too mind-boggling. So, False Thunder, run towards where it's pointing, basically. It's going to do a cleave, as you can see, away from it. Easy enough to dodge as long as you just run towards where it's doing that. So, this is the part you saw down below, where it says strike the enemy's core. You have to switch to attacking its Magitech core, otherwise I'm imagining it'll do a lot of damage to the actual tank downstairs. I've never actually seen this fail because, well, it's not hard to destroy the core. And why would you want to fail it? So, raid wide, that's just like unavoidable. Our first big mechanic, you see the white orbs? Get on the white orbs. There's only one exception to this rule, otherwise get on the white orbs. There's a little circle around them that is safe, otherwise damage. See the False Thunder, run to the False Thunder. Cleave. The purple, they're going to be big AoE around them, so you want to get as far away from them as possible. So the corners for this are very handy to get to. This is the introduction of the basics of how they work. Throw it around a little, but apart from the very last one, which very often is missed, you don't really have to worry. That's really like depending on DPS. This one, very easy, though not latency friendly. You see where it was, and you just move backwards and forwards, waiting until the attack goes off. Simple as that. Again, white orbs. Here you can see that the white orbs are going to be... I totally messed this up. The tether is going to swap them, so you need to get on where the purple orb was. When I was doing this, I totally forgot what the tethers did for some reason, even though they always do the same thing. Same again. Hit the core. Stop. Massive damage, I would imagine. Read wide. The normal opposites attract, etc. Just remember the way magnets work. And yes, get on the white. To be fair, that one is kind of hard to mess up when you get the opposite one. Ignore the fact that I'm dead. But yes, it's the same mechanic as always. Wait until the attack goes out. Then False Thunder, run to the False Thunder. Or get cleaved. Get rezzed. Destroy the core. Honestly, most of these mechanics can be healed through quite easily. Are we gonna see it? Doesn't look like it. Ah! Like that. Basically, there's one mechanic where the orbs will, like that one, they overlap so that the purple are going to hit in the white area. For that one, you have to get to the corners. It's normally, like, just as the boss is about to die. Anyways, getting back inside, let's press on, as they say. We can't give these drawers another arm. Take no prisoners, kill every last one of them. That will come into play a little bit later, what that means. That's El Belio. He's a crafty one. Watch out for his spells. This is a very, very easy segment. Basically, we have a bunch of ads to kill. Enough of this. Hit them with everything we have. There's our chance. Attack! A handy trick for this is if you bring death with you. It's a really handy spell to have, or lost death rather. Because even though, as you saw there, I failed, with like some of the larger enemies that aren't robots, because death doesn't work on robotic enemies, it really saves a lot of time. Also, yeah, these are like horrifying because there's so many massive cleaves. But it is basically just DPS everything down. Nothing really to worry about. For the amount of healers that are here, it's such an easy fight to get through. They leave me with no choice. The day has come to demonstrate the power of the Auracite. My hubris has become my undoing. Close the barricade. I need more time. It seems he eluded us, for now at least. We need to get past that barricade. Everyone split up and search for a way to open it. It's the point from here where things get a little more interesting. A number of our countrymen were taken captive. They're likely being held somewhere in the Castrum. Retreat! Retreat! Burn all documents! Execute the prisoners! The execution of the prisoners has begun. Now this is a bit of a time-sensitive one. So the way that this works is each group has to split off into one of the sections of this part of the Castrum. They need to quickly burn down these ads and open the 3 doors here. Behind one of the doors is someone executing a prisoner. If you can kill the bad guy before they execute the prisoner, you get an extra chest. And basically the rewards you get after the next boss go up depending on how many prisoners are saved. And the reason you have to hurry opening the doors, any of the doors could have the prisoner behind. And yes, once again, it's a human, so death is the best option. Once you've saved the prisoner, as you can see here, this is just making sure everything's good elsewhere. No prisoners remain to be saved. Excellent, everyone did their jobs. So that means now we have the actual mechanic, sort of. So in each section, you saw the big flame guy in there. In each of the walls there is a boss to be taken on, and with that boss is basically a button that you have to stand on. You have to have someone stand on every single one to unlock the way forward. So it's not that hard. Beat the boss and have someone stand on the buttons. Easy peasy. Again, death is your best friend for these type of things, so long as it's not a robot. And so long as you don't keep missing, as I always do. It's open. Continue to the inner reaches. Yeah, as you saw, everyone else was already there, ready and waiting. Not another step closer. Time to show you what the 4th Legion's made of. Is there no end to them? And yes, he summoned himself. Well, I say summoned. Sent to kill us. One of the 4th Legion Scorpions. Another very easy mini-boss with no real mechanics. Just kill it in advance. Also, no death cheesing this because it's not a living creature. They finally run off to soldiers to thwart us, it seems. Forward! Someone's there. Wait, is that? You fools! What have you done? Gebrant would see Bozja reborn, yet you would bear your steel against him. By denying the path of righteousness, you have sealed your fate. The heavens have spoken, and they are wroth indeed.
So this is what it is to become a god. I am a Dramalek. Know now your regret. A sinner's recompense.
Careful now. Something's not right. Be on your guard. Yes, another Evilisian Esper. Now this is an interesting boss fight, because there are many mechanics, but once you learn them, they're not too bad. I mean, a lot of this stuff is once you learn it, they're not too bad. It's definitely this is nowhere near as hard as the Baldesion Arsenal, although apparently we're getting a harder version of this or something like this. So, yeah. Also, as you've probably seen, like from me myself getting rezzed, there's no res thing in here like in Baldesion. So yeah, that definitely makes this a lot easier. The res restriction was what really made the Baldesion Arsenal difficult.
A crack of thunder, the roar of flame, the rumble of earth, the grip of ice, the rush of water, the howl of wind. At their center I stand, alone and omnipotent. Look on my works, ye mighty, and despair.
We start out by basically, we get to see what each of the mechanics do. Water orbs cause a knockback. Don't get knocked into the surrounding circle, it hurts. Or if you can, just mitigate the knockback. Fire. Well, how does fire work? Fire and ice work in opposite ways. Fire is don't attack, don't move. If you can like stop auto attacking as well, that would be great too. Well, no, you have to do that. But yeah, don't do anything while the fire is up. Wind is an AoE. That one's very easy. Just stay close. As for the other mechanics, you have ice, which when ice is up, you have to constantly keep moving.
May the lightning tear through you. Let your dying screams fill the air.
You have this version of thunder, which is basically get to the safe corner, where basically away from where it ends, or massive AoE.
From your shattered course, I shall craft a monument to agony.
There is also the thunder orbs, which cause a large AoE around him. So basically, a lot of them work, apart from water, they work as opposites. And now is the main mechanic of two at once. So water knockback, fire, don't move. Next one up, water and wind. So that one's going to knock you back and then you immediately have to run in. The wind and fire and ice and electric swap. So you might get one, you might get the other for these. Fire, water, knockback, don't move. So for the electric, it kind of works like the other way. Instead of the large AoE around the outside, it's a big AoE around him. And for ice, instead of don't move, it's keep moving. So it's basically, yeah, for those two, it's opposite, and you're either going to get ice and electric and fire or wind. You know what I mean. And yes, take all of the meteors down or like massive damage, which I think is survivable, but like is an almost raid wipe if you don't take at least some of them down. So that's all your mechanics for this. Burn down that boss, get through the Holy Four, and go and get all of the chests, which there are a lot of. To think he would go to such lengths to surrender himself body and soul to that devil. There's no time to dwell on that. We must press on. And yes, we have lots of chests here. 7 to be precise. 1 for each of the wings that you succeeded, and obviously the one for this boss fight. Alright, let's go and take on the big bad boss. Come on, Dawn, we got a spotted game that wants for hunting. Beasts of the 4th Imperial Legion, Leon Rem Helsos, and Dawn. Again, a very mechanic heavy boss fight, but once you know what you're doing, it's not too bad. This is more of a boss fight that has a lot of, if you mess up, you're gonna go down. It also has an extra mechanic which I will show off afterwards. This particular boss has a lot of things to remember, and it's a lot of like a memory focused stuff, a lot of short term memory type things that you have to remember in the moment while attacking and focusing on other things. So it can be a bit chaotic. So don't feel bad if you occasionally mess up in this one. It's designed that way. I mean, I know I mess up a fair bit. I have to hand it to you. I never thought you'd make it this far. I'm gonna enjoy this. Alright, get to the white. There's a small AoE of safety around the white ones, so whenever you see that, always aim for white. Easy as that. That's probably one of the easiest mechanics. If not the easiest. There's not much to say about that one. It's a cross, dodge out the way of the cross. For this, he's going to do a pounce, get out of the way of the pounce, and then run in, because he's going to do an AoE. This is, again, setting up for mechanics for later mechanics, so that you understand how things work. Go, Dawn! Your prey awaits! That's it, just like I taught you. Okay, so the mechanic here is, you see that there's bars on them to show which one he's going to first. 1, 2 and 3. 1 is a cross. 2 is a cross. Make sure you're dodging out of the way of the cross. 3 was a circle, so be prepared for the AoE. This is the mechanic a lot of people fail, myself included, because if you don't remember which it is, not bad. This goes for something special. Then you just have to follow the group essentially. So for this mechanic, you see your things and you see the birds. They're going to blow the orbs, so go to where you can see a white orb is going to go. I can't let you have all the fun. Why not come over here and let me take a swing? And this is the mechanic I was telling you about earlier. In a moment you'll see a little circle appear over there, and that is basically the cue for the group to take him on. Dawn, are you enjoying this as much as I am? And this is the point where ads start appearing. Once again, death things. The Tamed Manticores are a great one to death first. As you can see, it's very rare you get a chance to death them, because people know that they're a big threat. The smaller ones, not too much of a worry. But like, death seems to be the most useful thing to take. But yeah, just other than using death, just burn everything. Simple as that. Ah, challenge at last! And yes, I do have footage of the battle up there, which I'll show off after this fight. Steady on, no need to get carried away. Well, as enjoyable as it's been, it's time I called it quits. So this is what you get when your upper group wins. Not quite what I had in mind to want. Let's try that again. You'd better not mess it up this time. So 1, 2, 3, cross. Oh, 1, 2, 3, 4, sorry. Cross, cross, circle, circle. A lot of this is figuring out the positioning. So, like there, if you can figure out where he's going to jump to, you can figure out where the cross is going to come out. But yes, you can see why this is the mechanic that seems to mess up the most people. Because it's all to do with memory, positioning, and there's a lot of things that you could misremember or misplay. Easy mechanic, birds, they're going to blow it, get to where the white will go to. Essentially now, I believe it's just burn the boss down, you've got all the mechanics out. Circle, so circle, circle, cross, cross. Circle, then you have to run straight over to the other one. Something that I mess up here. You have to be prepared to be running straight there. But Operations Eagle's Nest 1, complete. Let's pretend we didn't die at the end there, right? Huh? So one was defeated. So they're bark and bite then. Perhaps I'll take your measure another time. Till we meet again. Poof, and away he goes. And with that, Castrum Lacus Litore is complete. Although not quite, because now is the time where we show off what happens when you go on the upper route and face against Leon himself. Alright, let's do it. And as we get into this, we get the same marker, can't let you have all the fun. Let's head to the passage to the Majesty's Palace. Majesty's Place. Nothing like a good scrap to get the blood pumping. This is interesting because this uses mechanics from the solo 1v1 encounter you can do in Borgia's southern front, but it's with a full group. Stay close to them for the knockback or you'll get hit into that and it will hurt. Watch out of the way of the burst attack and get into it. Same as a lot of those. So there's a lot of, very few markers for this, which is the issue. When he jumps across the field, get behind him, as he's going to do the big cleave across the whole area. And a lot of this fight basically relies on you memorizing, sort of, where mechanics are going to happen. So you see there's those markers. You need to not get hit by them. You need to also not get hit by the incoming push attack, which can, as you can see, get you pushed into them. there's a lot you really need to do this fight. You need to be on your toes. It's not super difficult as long as you're careful, but the fight obviously does ramp up as you go. Steady on, no need to get carried away. Well, as enjoyable as it's been, it's time I called it quits. But yeah, it's literally as simple as that. Despite the fact that I died, victory's a victory. Not quite what I had in mind to want. Let's try that again. Alright, getting back here. Don't forget to get your big final chest with 10 Bojin coins, but it can have a lot of other really good rewards inside. You just have to be lucky, basically. And as you can see there, since this is my first run, you can see that the number of Bojin coins at max you can get per run is 26. Alright, let's get out of here. I imagine there's some story to do. Something troubles you. The soldiers fell so easily, fled so quickly. This all seems too easy. We struck before the reinforcements could arrive, as planned, and our soldiers fought valiantly. If you believe our victory came easily, it is because your plan was executed to the letter, sir. Yeah, I agree. Perhaps. Alexander! What voice did I give her? Something like this. Is Makoto alright? We must split up and search for her. I don't believe that will be necessary. Shiny book. You are outnumbered and outmassed, Messiah. Release her, and we may yet be lenient with you. I'm not here to bargain, Basaljan. Please, Messiah, whatever your grievances may be, I am certain we can find a solution. But you have to let her go. We can build a better Bosha, Messiah. Together. Ever the optimist, and likely the first to go when this is all over. Alexander, if you would see her unharmed, come over here, nice and slowly. Ready you the blades, and wait for an opening. How I have waited for this moment. Are you alright? Alexander, I'm so sorry. Careful. It would be a pity if I were forced to sully a holy relic such as this. Would you care to enlighten our friends here as to its history? Exposition. Long exposition. What is she planning? And what is that queer-looking blade? Here. We're going to take a little trip into the memories of this blade, if you wish to keep Makoto in one piece, that is. Makoto! Do it! Do it now! Messiah intends to explore the memories of the blade. Perhaps while she is occupied we can... No, it sounds as though Mikoto and Alexander are going with her. Interrupting them may have dire consequences. We must wait for our moment. Is it done then? She does not breathe, and her pulse has ceased. We were fortunate to catch her unawares. Were we to incur the wrath of the blade, she may have destroyed us all. A quick, painless death. Oh, it's not. She did not even realise what happened. Is this the memory of the last queen?
'Tis true, the blade possessed a terrible power, but was this the only way? I thought myself able to control it, to harness its power for good, and yet it seems I was found wanting. At the very least, I shall take heart in the knowledge my people are safe. Naught but lies and deceit. They used you, betrayed you, slaughtered you, and dragged your name through the dirt. Now rise, my queen, exact your vengeance, erase their accursed legacy from the pages of history.
And thus was a primal reborn.
No! Leave her be!
An icon reborn.
Go! Claim what is yours!
Uh-oh. This death to the deceivers, in the name of the Queen! Retreat! We won't be having none of that, thank you very much.
Makoto! No!
Marasak! Alexander, we must withdraw and regroup.
All of you, run!
That was unexpected.
Do 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 do.
Whew. Well, I guess there's a primal now. Oh, I should have talked to everyone else first. Oh well. So the legends of her power are true then? We thought them mere fairy tales. It wouldn't be the first time one turned out to be true, trust me. But she is the protector of Bolsha. Why would the Queen do such a thing?
Messiah, she had planted a seed of hatred within the Queen. The Queen's memory's been altered then. The hatred seemed to be reaffirmed when the Queen looked upon the soldiers bearing the weapons of her guard. Messiah was likely anticipating that reaction.
Death to the deceivers, they said. God, what happened all those years ago? Let us not dwell on the past. The blades must be saved.
I'm afraid the effects of tempering cannot be undone, or rather, a cure has yet to be found, although we may have found something.
Damn it all! Was this part of our plan as well? Let us return to Gangos. There is still much for us to discuss. Understood.
But yes, the 100% is a potential cure in the works, as we learned from our journey to the source. To the source? No, to the first. Whether or not it works on tempering, we don't know yet. It's currently just a theory. Oh, speak with Marsak. Messiah always seems so kind and caring. Why did it have to come to this? I would like to believe the Empire has deceived us somehow, but I know it's not that simple. We have to stop her, Alexander. Did you wish to talk? If not, I'd like to be left with my thoughts. I believe the term was coined after confrontations with the primal Ifrit. The creature would bombard its enemy with a veritable deluge of ether, rendering them mindless slaves. Though perhaps it would be more accurate to say that their will was supplanted by that of the primal. They will act instinctively according to the whims and desires, no matter how depraved or immoral. Unfortunately, we have yet to discover a method to reverse the effects of tempering. Even the greatest minds of Sharlayan are at a loss, which means there is presently no way to save Gunnhildr's blades. It is strange to think Queen Gunnhildr is once again protected by her own guard, but make no mistake, so long as Messiah will save the Queen, they will do whatever it takes to try and stop us. Thankfully, we are gifted with the Echo, otherwise the Queen would likely bid us join their ranks. But you are no stranger to battle with primals. I have faith we'll find a way to defeat her.
But yeah, basically.
Thank goodness Bakato is okay. No time to relax though, not as long as the 4th Legion's still out there up to no good. Anything you need before I get back to work?
Nah, that's good. To lose the Castrum and Gunnhildr's blades both, a heavy and most unexpected blow. It seems that rather than rely on sheer numbers, many of us had a far more devious scheme in mind all along, and we played right into his hands. Thankfully, reinforcements from Dalmasca have recently arrived, and more from the Eastern Alliance will soon join our ranks as well. Until then, there's no to do but wait and plan for our next move. Now is the time to rest, my friend. You have more than earned it. Messia Mianus Gunnhildr, the Lady of Blades. Is that everything? Or... oh, black screen. There's more. Meanwhile, at Castrum Lacus Litore. Well, word around here is you summoned a primal, is that right? You certainly know how to make a good first impression, don't you, lass? I've seen similar from Albaleo and that other site of his, but a primal summoning, that takes a great deal more ether, doesn't it? I'd imagine even more to control it. You have done well. Now go, tend to your wounds. That is an order. We have ample time before the resistance returns, and when they do, I will have need of you again. Understood? Yes, sir. Poor thing. If only she could learn to let go. It would be better for everyone. Well, some more than others. What do you want? I trust you're aware of the request from the 3rd Legion to return to the capital. Of course I am, but Gabranth is in no position to comply with such orders. I thought as much. Well, not that it matters. Nerva is just like his father Titus. Weak and a coward. Unfit to give orders, let alone lead a nation. Haven't spent time serving under Bosch. I understand full well your frustration, but the Garleans you long for is a thing of the past. Though I must say your plan to stall for time have proven quite effective. One can only hope you are as prepared as our dear Noah for what comes next. What is it you are trying to say? Soldiers with potential like her are not something to be used and discarded like an old boot. We have never considered her to be expendable. She is a valuable asset. For now, at least. Like I always say, death finds a way to weed out the unremarkable and otherwise ill-fortuned. I almost envy you on your insolence. I don't know that word. Now, not that you would ever heed my counsel on such matters, let alone Gabranth. Says the man who ignores the counsel of peers and superiors both to defend Bosia. But I really do have to hand it you. Enthralling those resistance soldiers was a fascinating idea. Why bother with persuading when you had the power to enslave minds? Flattery ill suits your Leon, even when false. Perhaps, but dirty tricks like that suit you quite well, don't they? You always were a conniving bastard, real snake in the grass. That I shall take as a compliment. Unforgiven, unforgotten. Save the Queen, Chapter the 2nd. You can now exchange coins for gear at Utgir's Aegis. Gear, if fully upgraded, has special properties that are exclusive for use in Borgia. In the trenches, the initial gear is not. Even now, I struggle to understand what happened at the Castrum. To lose Gunnhildr's blades to the 4th Legion, it beggars belief. That this may have all been employed to afford them time to assemble reinforcements is quite concerning. Thankfully, we have reinforcements of our own in the Dalmascan resistance, with more on the way from our Far Eastern allies. I would pray it will be enough to contend with this new threat. But now, we can do naught but rest and regroup. I'll not keep you, unless there is something you wish to discuss. Nah, that's fine. Alright, let's head over here and head back in to Borgia's southern front. Really do like this music, it's so good. Oh, I accidentally left the autoplay, or not turn off autoplay. Whatever, skip that. Alright, where are you? Ah, I imagine it's you. Yep. Potion gear exchange. You have lots to go through. And yes, our augmentation. Each part needing one augment thing. And yes, as you saw, they're very, very expensive to upgrade. For once, ironically as well, I actually think that the caster outfit is probably the best one of the lot. Which is a rarity for just anything. It's actually quite a nice, like, army type uniform without being a goddamn dress. Although I'm not a big fan of the weird half monocle. Half monocle? That's not right. You know what I mean. Also, there's a wrench on the back, which I love. And yes, as normal, I'm not going to go through the dye colours for all of the sets. I'm just showing basically the gist of what each of the sets is going to look like as you go through. No, bugger. Oh, I didn't even realise I hadn't re-equipped everything. Oops. It's fine. And our primary expensive dyes. The black looks pretty good. Any of the dyes that really show off the, like, the browning around the edges and the wear on the outfit make it look really good. Ones that show off that extra detail are the dyes you want to go for. Which ironically, the original colours don't show that off perfectly. Alright, onto our tank set. Which isn't bad. None of these are bad. I just don't think it's as good. Nice to see a hood that doesn't have the stupid ear socks though. Hopefully that's something that's going to continue going forward. As for our maiming set, it's basically the same as the tank set, but with the same hat as the DPS caster, although without the monocle part. Striking comes with some cool goggles. And I don't know if it's just me, I feel like this set has kind of a like crafter look to it. Possibly like the bit on the side that looks a bit like a bag. It's not a bag, but that's just the aesthetic I get. And yes, the goggles go up and down, which is awesome. They're even reflective, which is something. Scouting. Which has a very cute little dagger. I like this set quite a bit. It's not as nice as some of the others, but it's got some like nice details like the dagger, and I really like that. It feels a little lacking, but I do like it. Aiming, which has a really cool hood. I really like the hood. It doesn't really go with the outfit, the hood I mean. But it's a very good piece, which in that case it just like gets rid of them. Interestingly, as you see here, if you dye it white, it becomes like a very Assassin's Creed-y type outfit because of the peak of the hood. And last but not least, the healing set, which you may find familiar because yes, it's basically just a recolor of the caster set. Not a bad thing, still a really nice outfit. As you can see, almost exactly the same. Like that, the hat you could barely even tell the difference. Yeah, black seems to be a pretty good colour. I'm definitely gonna have to go through afterwards and have like a much more detailed look at the different dyes till I find one I really like. And yeah, we can afford like one thing basically. Well, we can afford two of the cheaper things. Or we can save up. But yeah, obviously we're going to have to do some saving up anyways. It is kind of upsetting that you don't get 28 for a run, because then that would have been enough for 2 items or 1 expensive item. But yeah, I suppose let's get these. Add them to our field record. Redeem the ones we can here. Interestingly, we can't... Yeah, yes, we can't redeem them, because if you look, each of them has a level requirement, which I totally forgot was actually something the others had. So we're going to have to do a bunch of ranking up if we want to actually redeem them and add to the list. Which is... it's going to take us a while. Move that down. But anyways, with that, we are done with the Borgian Southern Front. At least for now. Well, we're done with Borgia, at least for now. Anyways, thank you very much for watching. Hope you enjoyed. And I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.